We here at Mayhem Media
understand the trials and tribulations of life.
No matter how hard life can get.
Suicide is never the answer.
There's more assistance available today than ever before.
If you or a loved one are suffering from suicidal thoughts, please don't try and take it on alone.
Call or text 988 if you live in the United States.
Or if you're in Great Britain, call 116123 or text 85258.
The world is a better place with you in it.
Damn! Oh my! Sweet!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, guys, gals, non-binary pals, welcome back to Into the Barricade, everyone's favorite WWE review show. I am the last outlaw, Jesse James, joined always by my co-host, the one and only, Connor Clarkson. How goes it today, my friend?
Tired, stressed, but I'm ready to relax. I'm ready to do this.
Well, let's get right to it. I know it's late across the pond here. Raw, Monday night, Omaha, Nebraska. 15th time it's hosted Monday Night Raw. The return of Gunther. They announce Otis versus Rusev, which kind of got me hyped right off the bat a little bit.
Yeah.
Show opens up with Jey Uso calling out Logan Paul. Jey Uso gets interrupted by Paul Heyman. Paul brings up that Jey betrayed Roman Reigns long before he ever did. Paul cut one of the most fire promos Paul has cut in a long time.
Yeah.
And being Paul Heyman, that says something. That was... I've never felt bad for Paul Heyman. Like, what the hell was he supposed to do in that situation?
Legit.
You know, did you notice, though? He continually refers to Roman as his tribal chief still.
See, now I get it. Because obviously they had a 5-year thing. But I don't get it. Because he's now with Seth and Breaker.
Here's my logic on that, and I think it stems from what Paul said with I found a stray big dog on the Isle of Irrelevancy, and I made him into the tribal chief. Roman wouldn't be where Roman's at without Paul. Paul knows that. Roman knows that.
Think about it. Lesnar wouldn't be where he is without Heyman.
No. How many people wouldn't be where they were without Paul? Punk wouldn't be where he is without Paul.
I mean, shit, yeah, Ryback would, we can skip that one.
Yeah, let's not use Ryback, but
fucking Undertaker wouldn't be where he is without Heyman, because just think, Heyman was managing him when he was technically Mean Mark.
Yeah, back in the day, Stunning Steve in the Dangerous Alliance. Paul fucking knew talent. And Paul Heyman brings up that the title equals power. Jey Uso don't know how to wield that power. Jey wants the title. Seth needs the title.
Yeah.
Jey Uso's a dumbass and accepts Seth Rollins versus Jey Uso for the world title. 25 minutes into the show, match 1 begins. Penta versus JD McDonough. I got to touch upon this one. It's pretty common knowledge amongst the staff here, but Tool is my favorite band, and to be able to see Penta come out and his new theme music be written and performed by the guitarist from Tool and hear him get a shout out. Adam Jones actually also did the Star Spangled Banner at SummerSlam 02, I believe.
It was either 02 or 03.
Yeah, one of the two.
Yeah.
It's One thing that surprises me, and I guess I'm not surprised with all the tribalism in wrestling right now, is people dogged on the Lucha Bros, Penta and Phoenix, for how much they botched in AEW, but they don't seem to say anything in WWE. Like, Penta botches every 3 moves. Every 3rd move he misses, he gets wrong, his timing is off, but everybody seems to ignore it now that he's in WWE. Also, he was absolutely stiffing JD that whole match.
Yeah, I don't exactly think you could call it a match. I think it was literally more a shoot at that point.
Yeah, them two were swinging haymakers on each other for a while. Decent overall match. I was surprised to see Penta win, especially with the Chad Gable interference.
Yep.
I don't know if you caught the little spot there where Chad Gable was walking by and Pierce was like, "What's up, Americano?" And he turned around.
And I popped.
I did too. That was such a good one. Was cut to Grayson Waller and Adam Pierce backstage. And Grayson Waller's telling him, "Listen, I appreciate the match, but I didn't know it was against him. Like, you didn't tell me it was going to be against him." Who did you think he was fighting in that moment?
I mean, I definitely didn't think it was Sheamus.
No. Sheamus was not who I expected. I thought it was going to be Braun Breaker, honestly.
Legit, like, could have been Breaker. I mean, like, dropping Sheamus on it, like, fair play.
Yeah, fair play. I didn't see that one coming. And in all reality, if I'm begging for a one-on-one match, Sheamus ain't the guy I'm begging for it for. Grayson Waller, being the absolute Australian gentleman that he is, decides that his tag team partner, Austin Theory, really deserves that time to shine as a single star against Sheamus. And he graciously, and I do mean graciously, lets Austin Theory know, "Listen, you can have this match tonight just because you're my boy."
Okay, so I'm adding this to my notes that when the Americans say gentleman, they mean asshole.
Exactly, yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. But only when we specify they're a foreign gentleman. As an American gentleman, they're a gentleman. But as an English gentleman, they're Connor Clarkson. Anyway, to Theory and Sheamus, it went pretty much a 7-minute squash match. I think Theory's Badrons had been beat upwards of 25 plus times. And then, Sheamus just kind of toyed with him for a while, ended it with a brogue kick, and we moved on with the night.
I mean, what I don't get is, like, obviously, those two are a tag team, right? Those two are technically a tag team. But why does it feel to me that, like, at some point in the next couple of PLEs, they're breaking up?
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be. Which leads us to our next segment. Speaking of tag teams breaking up, we flash to the Judgment Day backstage. AJ Styles walks in and says, "What's up, Prince?" For those of you who don't know, before Finn Balor was Finn Balor, he was Prince Fergal Devitt in New Japan, and he was part of the Bullet Club with AJ Styles. I feel between the Finn Balor dissension in the Judgment Day and that little nod from AJ, AJ says, "All right, Dom, I'm coming for that IC title." I'm pretty sure AJ is the one who takes the title off of Dominic.
I mean, I don't see who else it could be.
I don't either, and I don't see how Dominic beats AJ, no matter how you book that.
Legit.
Moving on, Becky Lynch, after her absolute fire promo last week, cut the biggest piece of garbage I have ever heard. If she said garbage less than 30 times, I will eat my note sheet here. That was absolutely nothing more than garbage.
I mean, it's weird. And again, it's like, I didn't understand. I kind of did, but I'm like, it's kind of like, how do you do a brilliant promo one week and then you do, which is basically nothing short of shit, the next week?
But then I look at Lyra, who come out and cut her out. I thought Lyra last week cut the most generic WWE 2K25 promo I've heard in a long time.
Yep.
This week, Lyra come out on fire. Talk about who you calling recycling. You've been recycling the same bullshit, the same catchphrase, the same "I'm the man" bullshit for 3 years. We're over it. If this is all recycling, you're the queen of the recycling heap. Like, that was fire, dude. That was fire. I loved it. I loved the little, Becky goes to a cheap shot. Of course, Lyra sees it coming. The brawl ensues. Lyra, I really like Lyra's special, too. That Nightwing is really... That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm digging that. So now we're what? An hour and 15 minutes into the show or so. We get match 3. Roxanne Perez, Io Sky. 2 major things stick out to me in this match. 1, Io Sky needs to stop doing those uppercuts. They look awful.
Yeah, legit.
It's
like if you look at it, they don't even connect.
No, and when they do, her hand completely stops, which makes it look worse. And speaking of completely stopping, unless Roxanne Perez is going to do suicide dives between the bottom rope and the middle rope, she needs to stop doing them because she stops running before she jumps every time.
It's funny because
She bounces off the bottom rope because she's not tall enough, so why is she not trying to dive through the bottom rope?
legit. Why don't you do it kind of like Rey Mysterio did it?
Yeah, or even that little slide out, which I thought was clever as hell the first time I saw that. I honestly thought it was a very sloppy match, although it ended in an ending I don't think I've ever seen. I have never seen that pin reversal spot end in an actual win before, and I wound it back and counted it. There were 8 pin reversals before the actual fall.
See, I didn't think it was going to end up like, it was kind of like, to me, to you, my turn, your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
Your turn. Like, I can't remember the last time I've actually seen that pin reversal spot actually.
I don't think I've ever seen it end a match before. I really don't. Like, I'm hard pressed to think of, like I have seen a small package get reversed into a schoolboy that end the match kind of thing. A crucifix get rolled over, a sleeper hold get rolled into, whatever. I have never seen 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pin reversals and then the match end.
And I've got to kind of correct you, and I'm sorry for this, but I've got to correct you. Since AEW and Timeless Tony Storm's promo, you can't call it a small package anymore.
That's true.
It's a big package. You can't call it a small package.
It's an average package.
Average against what country, though?
Depends. So, of course, as soon as they announce that Rhea's in Australia, Io and Roxanne shake hands. Roxanne rolls out, and here comes Julia again for the beatdown. I mean, we're clearly just setting up the tag team match.
Yep.
And I'm here for it. I don't care. I'm down. I'm down for it. Match 4. I did not expect Otis to get more of a reception than Rusev. Like, people seem really hype about Rusev. Dude, the crowds were crickets on his entrance.
See, and that surprises me as well, because you think someone that's been out of that company for 5 years, you would have thought an audience that should technically remember him has a little more to do than just sit there and say nothing. I
even have it in my notes that Rusev not squashing Otis made him look weak. Otis has been presenting as nothing but a comedy jobber for the last 6 months.
Yep.
Tozawa coming in and challenging Rusev and Rusev walking away. I was like, what the hell are they doing?
Legit.
And then Rusev came back and did what I've been waiting for Rusev to do since he showed up.
It's like, I don't get why he had, like, I get kind of like why he rolled out to then leave him to come back in.
Yeah.
Catch him off guard.
But he could have just leveled him to his face.
Yeah, you could have just right hooked him. Job done. I mean, Otis is what, 330. Rusev is what, 285, 290, something like that.
So that was about $160.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm much Tozawa's weight.
Yeah, you're going to stand here and look Otis in the face, but roll out from Tozawa? Makes no sense.
Legit.
And then we had the Pat McAfee Gunther
segment-ish.
Yeah.
Whatever you want
segment-ish.
I
which-
mean, like, I loved the segment, but I just
I
don't
did too, but
why they had to do it.
yeah, it's one of those matches that I don't know why they're doing it. I don't feel like either way there's a way to book this where Gunther looks good in the end, other than it being a 2-minute squash match. And then at that point, what was the point?
Yep. It was kind of like, yeah, we just need to do it to kill some time.
Yep. The main event, we had Jey Uso versus Seth Rollins. DQ. We all saw that coming. Overall, though, I thought it was a really good match. I actually was convinced Jey was about to drop the title on Raw.
I mean, when again, like I was saying this with Jacob on the prediction show, I think a couple of episodes back, and it was like, I think they're going to use Jey as basically a transitional champion.
Oh yeah, I don't see Jey going on even a 6-month run. If Jey is still holding by the time someone wins Money in the Bank, I don't think the Money in the Bank holder holds it for more than a month this year.
Legit, and I mean, I'll be surprised if he makes it to SummerSlam.
Yeah, I agree.
But
So that ends Raw. Now we flip it over to Mr. Clarkson controlled SmackDown coverage.
Brother, you've known me way too long now. When have you ever seen me do anything controlled? Like, please, when have you ever seen me do anything controlled?
Well, you're running it. Let's go.
I'm running it. No, I'm rolling it. I keep having to remind you this every time I'm rolling it. But, I mean, to be fair, I enjoyed Raw. SmackDown, I'm kind of glad it was 2 hours rather than 3.
Yes.
Right? Because I was like, from last week, it was basically 3 for 3. Again, it was a lot better than last week. What I don't get is how the fact they put what's his face? Was it Damian Priest and LA Knight together? I was about to say McIntyre.
Yeah. In
a match against Solo and Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, you've got them at Backlash.
They need to let go. And I've always attributed that to Vince McMahon. But going back, like I've seen, it happened all throughout the territories. It happened in WCW. The classic, can they coexist? Like, it's such a stupid fucking storyline. Can we stop with it already?
It basically turns it into a fucking gimmick match at that point.
Not only that, you're already asking me to suspend my disbelief here. Now you're supposed to expect me to believe that these two are mortal blood enemies before and after this match are suddenly going to work together. It just kind of takes the realism out of it.
It's not only that, it's like, what do you achieve by having 2 people that's in a fatal 4? Well, 3 people. Well, 3 people.
Yeah, 3 people.
That's in a fatal 4-way, but 2 of them working against one of them.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, at least have, say, fucking, LA Knight against Jacob, and then Priest comes out and fucks with the match.
Yeah, exactly.
Vice versa.
There's so many easier ways to book that going into the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, I just feel like the spots where it's kind of like, oh yeah, you've got these 2 in a match with him, can these 2 work together? It's kind of like, A, you're fucking up the realism. B, at that point, you're basically saying fuck kayfabe.
Yeah.
And it's been done so many fucking times, you might as well go on to 2K25 and have it as a gimmick match.
Yeah. The can they coexist tag team match.
Yeah. And I mean, that just really did not make sense to me. A couple of other things I picked up on. Backstage, I don't know if you've seen the clips, but Charlotte walking over to the motor to go grab a lift to the airport, and you just casually see Alexa Bliss standing there.
Yeah.
That was that was interesting. I don't think like, when was the last time those two actually worked together?
Oh my goodness, it's been a while.
I mean, it's been that long. I think it was even before Bray passed away.
Yeah, it's a fresh match for sure.
Yeah, like I'll happily see that at Money in the Bank or Saturday Night Main Event and something like that.
Right,
But I
give
mean,
it to me.
that could start a match right there. Again, Charlotte don't need another match. She just needs to fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, honest to God, like, no disrespect to her. Loved her when I was growing up, right? I'm pretty sure every teenager loved her growing up. But at this point, it's kind of like you're just trying to act like your dad, saying you're done and then coming back. Just, no, you're done, move on.
Be done.
Again, they did it a lot better than last week's, because 3 matches in 3 hours is kind of like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? It's kind of like, at the end of the day, that gets boring.
Yeah, it's like 3 matches in 2 hours doesn't seem that bad for some reason, but 3 hours and 3 matches is just like, sweet Jesus.
Legit, because it's like, oh yeah, promo package, segment, promo package, commercial break, match, 2-hour entrance, commercial break, match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like,
Entrance, commercial break, 10 minutes a match, commercial break, 10 minutes a match, commercial break, promo, commercial break, entrance, commercial break.
and it's kind of like, with all these promo packages and shit like that, like, you have got social media. Why can't you just release these promo packages on social media? You're cutting about 30, 40 minutes of runtime, and you're keeping it around that 2-hour mark.
Well, not only that, think about all of the... You would think with all the sponsors in the ring and on the barricade and on the floor and Prime everywhere, why are we getting more commercials and not less? Like, you're clearly making plenty of money off advertisement.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, again, that's another thing that I really don't get. Like, the sponsors on the ring apron. Well, on the canvas, sorry. That's another thing. Don't get me wrong. It is to do with a little bit of cash.
Oh, it ain't even a little bit of cash. That's the only reason they're even talking to Hulk Hogan. Shit.
I mean, yeah. But at this point, I mean, speaking of Hogan, with Rollins, with Heyman and Braun Breaker, it looks like Seth is that white. If it was the 80s, he would have been snorted by Hogan.
Yes, Hulk Hogan would have snorted him off the line.
That is literally the only thing I'm going to say about Hogan for plenty of reasons.
No more Hogan talk. All my homies hate Hulk Hogan.
I'd rather talk about MJF, to be fair, and that's saying something.
I agree.
Legit. But I mean, yeah, that segment with Charlotte and what's her face, Bliss, very interesting.
Cinema.
Match set up. Does it have to be with Charlotte Flair? Again, it's probably going to end up being, because you know what Charlotte's like. Oh yeah, my daddy's Ric Flair, so I deserve this.
So I need the win. That doesn't work for me, brother. Charlotte Flair.
For fuck's sake. Oh god. I love my job. It's like, make me love my job. Again, who was it that did the entrance for the tag team match? I actually can't remember, because I know Alexa was there, but I can't remember who her tag team partner was. I really want to.
I don't remember. I'm blanking.
Neither do I, but whoever it was, they were short, so it's kind of like they've made.
Oh, it was Zelina Vega.
That was the one, yeah, Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega.
That is definitely the shortest tag team in history at the minute.
Quite possibly.
Unless you put Hornswoggle and Rey Mysterio together. Now, Hornswoggle and El Torito.
I was just going to say, do you remember El Torito, sir?
Yeah, the WLC matches.
Yep, fantastic.
Again, like, with that, how they did a tag team match there. Why? Because, like, you've got Zelina, you've got Alexa. Polar opposites. Again, it's kind of like, I get it, but it just really did not make sense.
No, it didn't.
It really fucking did not make sense.
There's no point.
Moving on. The last thing that's worth talking about. The Cena versus Orton segment. Like, don't get me wrong. It's their one last match before they don't do anything else together.
I think
Unless,
Cena and Orton should have a tag team title run.
I mean, to be fair, back in the day, they did have that match where it was them two against the entire Raw
The
roster.
entire Raw roster, and they won. It's amazing I was willing to suspend my disbelief for that, but I'm over here complaining about, can they coexist?
Yeah, it's kind of like, you say that, but then you say this, so what are you actually saying, bro?
Daniel Bryan had a word for that. Fickle.
Yep. But I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I thoroughly enjoyed that segment.
Yeah, absolutely.
These are the two guys that I've basically been watching my entire life. Do you know what I mean? They basically had a 25-year storyline.
Yeah, for real. These
No,
two
I-
have been going basically my entire adult life.
It's like, you have a title run, then I'm going to do it. And it's kind of like them trying to one-up each other. And it's worked so fucking well over the past 25 years.
Yeah.
But I really don't think that should have been their last match at Backlash.
You know what I was just thinking, Connor?
Yo,
Well, I really like you, and I know you really like me. And the people, they really like us. So maybe we should show them where to get some merchandise to support Into the Barricade and Mayhem Media.
yeah, to be fair, yeah, we could do with the extra fans. And if you are a fan of Into the Barricade or the one and only Connor Clarkson and the last Outlaw Jesse James, or just Mayhem Media in general, shoot over to www.bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media Shop to get all kinds of Mayhem Media merch, including one and only Connor Clarkson merch, Last Outlaw Jesse James merch, and Into the Barricade merch.
Fantastic, sir. That was another week of WWE review. I am the last outlaw, Jesse James, joined always from across the pond by my host, the one and only, Connor Clarkson. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share the video out, follow us on Facebook and Twitter and all of the others. We will see you in another week.
Peace.
Damn!